broadcasting live from an undisclosed location in the universe. Welcome to Iggy Garcia Live, the show where metaphysics, holistic living, motivation, and inspiration come together to empower your mind, body, and soul. We will dive deep into the realms of metaphysical wisdom, exploring the fascinating connections between mind and matter. Get ready to ignite your inner spark and embrace a journey of self-discovery. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Okay, I want to welcome everybody to Iggy Garcia Live. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia. So we're going to light a candle like we always do. Maybe. Giving thanks to the ancestors. Giving thanks to all those who come before us. And recognizing the sacrifices and all the things they had to go through to get us to this place in time. Let that burn over there. Yeah, it's 12 o'clock in the morning. Burn a little sage. A little Palo Santo with it. Feels good. Smoke bath. All right, so I can't believe we're already in October. It's kind of crazy to even think that we've already got to this place in time. 10 months have gone by like that. Boom. Smack fast. I can't even wrap my mind around that a little bit. It's kind of weird. You know, when you're young, everything seems to go so slow. And as you get older, everything seems to go very quickly and very fast. So there's like no way to gauge that anymore like I used to when I was a younger person to an older person. Now here I am. And, you know, kind of feeling my age a little bit lately, but I'm working on getting better, working on getting my health back in shape after COVID. So I'm doing pretty good. So today my topic is kind of, I may have talked about it a little bit before. I kind of talk about it in the beginning of our shows. I always kind of bring it up a little bit. I always talk about the ancestors. I always talk about people who were here before us, people who were, you know, our ancestors, people who laid the foundation for us. And those people who laid the foundation for us, we may never know. We've never met them. And that's okay. It's kind of the same way when we lay the foundation for our future generations. And the people who, when we have our kids and our grandkids, we get to create this foundational energy. And so we're part of this, this sevenfold of generations deep. And, you know, on each generational gap, there's 7 behind each one of those people too. So the numbers are unlimited. But one of the biggest things and the coolest things what happens is that all of us, all pieces and parts of us are all inside of, we carry all that knowledge. We carry all that DNA. We carry all that stuff that is other people, and which is us too as well. And we carry these memories and these ideas and these beliefs that sometimes we don't understand. Sometimes we ask ourselves, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like that? What if it's because we carry the genetic code, the genetic makeup of the people who were before us. You know, their struggle was to survive. Their struggle was to make sure and maintain that their the offspring becomes stronger and better. Each time we're trying to, you know, find partners who, you know, help us get into that space and that place. And so all of us, you, me, everybody, we all come from that. We all come from that energy. And that energy is very ancient, you know. Where it started, we're not sure, depending how far back you go in your genealogy. But it's always interesting. A lot of people, some people don't care where they come from or who their ancestors were. You know, there's no connection. They just feel like they're a bunch of cells that made it through, and here we are. But, you know, I'm here to tell you this. I know there's a lot of you out there who are on this plane, this moment in time, and you're not happy being here because, it's kind of like you didn't decide to be here. You was no choice for you to be here. Well, that's kind of how it goes. I mean, we're like the lottery ticket. We get energetically, we get picked to be here by the egg and the sperm, and when they meet and they mingle, now they're finding out that the egg actually sends off a signal looking for a particular type of sperm to impregnate that egg, fertilize that egg and create the offspring that you are. So what used to be by chance is now being studied that it's not necessarily by chance, but it's actually a set of chemicals and, probably energy and waves that the egg looks for a specific spouse, a mate to come into that energy. And so, the thing was, we have a lot of kids who have Down syndrome. We have a lot of people with diseases. We have a lot of people with all kinds of different ailments. Then we have really healthy people. And it makes you wonder, why would an egg pick that? Well, it's like anything, right? It's flawed, and there's things that don't necessarily match up in the matrix of birthing and development. And so here we are. But I will tell you, though, if you're here, you're a grand miracle. I don't care if you believe that or not. There's people who don't believe that. And, it makes me sad because the potential in the energy it took to create you and where you are here now in time is a very special moment in time. It's like the Big Bang inside your mom's womb, your mother who carried you. It's very powerful. That woman who carried you, it's very powerful. It kind of reminds me of the universe a little bit. The universe is like that too. It's a very spontaneous, out of nowhere, boom, and things expanded and keep expanding and creating. And we're the same way. Humans are the same way to some degree, right? So it's very important energetically sometimes, for in order for us to heal the pieces and parts that are wounded from the people who came before us, is to give thanks to them. Honoring them, honoring that space that they helped create to get you here. I'm not here to shame anybody or make anybody feel bad, but you have an opportunity to do just about anything in this plane of existence. And you know what? In this particular body that you have will be the only time you'll be able to do it with this physical body. Energetically, energy can't be destroyed. It can only be transmuted and reconstituted and used. So I'm always wondering how that energetically we are able to move into these energies and just take them for granted. We take a lot of things for granted. We pollute our bodies with alcohol. We pollute our bodies with drugs. And yet we don't have any self-respect for ourselves because we're terribly wounded by people who hurt us. And yeah, sometimes it's the same people who birthed us, the same people who loved us, the same persons who cared about us, who did the damage to us. But you have a choice to make, and you have decisions to make. You have that free will to decide, I'm going to do better, or I'm going to stay in the trauma, stay in that energy. Now, if you stay here, there's a reason for it. There's beneficial reasons for you to be there. If you move out of here, there's beneficial reasons why you wouldn't move out of here. But it's not easy. I understand that. It's not easy because we're told it's not easy. We're told that all healing is self-healing. And for a lot of people, that doesn't compute because how do I heal myself? No, I need somebody else to help me. No, you need a guide. You need somebody to guide you and to see the proper ways and to look at things differently. So many times people try to fix people and tell them this is the way it should be. But actually, energetically, we get stuck in the loop. And the loop is the story we tell ourselves. So your great-great-great-great-grandfather, was a pirate. And so you have an affliction for pirates or an infliction for pirates. You don't like them. Excuse me. So, I hear people all the time. My dad was an ass. My mom was mean to me. Screw them. I don't want nothing to do with them. And you have the right to do that. But the one thing, if you cherish the life that you have, the one thing that you should always at least think about is giving thanks to them for giving you life, if anything. If there's anything to thank, it's that. And you know what? In a lot of people, like, I already repeat myself, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're not asked to be born." Well, you know what? Maybe you weren't asked to be born because you're logically thinking about it versus appreciating why you're born. There's more people who are not born than there are alive, right? Because that's just the way life is. And so here you are, a grand opportunity to do good things in your life. And so how do you do it? How do you make decisions? How do you move forward? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? A lot of us, even though we have our ancestors and we have people who are in our lives, who are our mentors, who are our parents, and who are here to teach us, they don't always the best teachers, right? Because they didn't have the best teachers. And that energy keeps getting passed forward, passed along, passed forward, passed along. And then you know what? That's why we keep doing the same things over and over and over and over. Is because we don't know how to parent ourselves energetically or spiritually or emotionally, because the people came before us weren't that good either. But when you look at a child, they have an innocence about them. They're very innocent. They don't know all the ins and outs of what adulting is like. And one day they will. They say by the age of 7 or 8, you've learned everything how to parent yourself. And when you look at that, you're going, what? Yeah, I would say what too. But that's where we're at. That's what happens. And that's hard for people to grasp and understand sometimes. That they're learning their parenting skills by the age of 7 or 8. And then they have to apply that to the real world. And you know how the real world is. It's managed by people who want to control people. It's managed by people who don't really have regard for life. That's kind of scary. That's very scary. So, are you grateful? Are you ungrateful for being born, to be in this life and be in this moment in time? And especially in this time. A lot of you probably, like myself, probably would not have survived if we were born in the 1500s or in the year 500, or the year 300, just because of the ailments and the things that happened to us. That would require surgery and that may have not been done then. But neither here or there, that happens a lot. So are you grateful? Are you thankful for your parents, for their parents, and their parents' parents, and so on and so on? It's important to remember that, you know what? Once you get past the layers of, of doubt and frustration about who you are and how you fit in this world and how you're part of that, you're here. The choices are, what am I going to do while I'm here? Am I just going to skirt through life, just move through life? Because I'll tell you, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to be frustrated with yourself, and it's either going to motivate you or it's going to depress you that you did or didn't. I hope that it motivates you to do better and to do more. But I know that's not the fact. And some people just totally get down and depressed because they feel like they can't move anywhere and move through energies and cut through energies. The stories we tell ourselves have become more powerful than the actual story that happened to us, the event that actually played out. We become so ingrained in making sure that we're wounded so other people would appreciate us for our woundingness and feel sorry for us and caress us and coddle us. A lot of people are like this, and it doesn't take, you don't have to go very far to see this happen. but it's there. It's going on. It's being exposed every day. We look at our lives and we're dissatisfied sometimes, or sometimes we're elated that it came out perfect. But a lot of times we're unsatisfied because of this. It's because of the decisions we make, and those decisions cost us. All our decision making costs us. The generations before us, did they know that you're going to be the way you are today? Remember, they didn't have video games, they didn't have TVs. A lot of these people didn't have none of that technology. So their connection to Earth was either being connected to it or disconnected from it by doing something that distracts you. They had their distractions too. They had the things they would do too that would keep you busy so you wouldn't have to totally be in the family, and mingling and moving. But that's how man is. Man's like that. But once you find out how many years you have, it can be daunting. Like persons like myself, I'm in my going to be going into my late 50s. I understand how precious in every moment of my life is, because at any given time, I could be gone. But if I was to just even live 20 or 30 years, the world that I know that I came into is nothing like the world that it was back then. The world that, I am able to move and navigate through was very different. And now I have choices to make. What am I going to do? How am I going to navigate? How am I going to be? And it's not an easy task for people to be able to see those things and move through that energy. But I will tell you that when you give thanks to the people who came before you, your ancestors, and in praying for them and honoring them and respecting them, your life will change. Your life will be better. A lot of people are like, well, I didn't know that person. Well, yeah, you probably did not. But here's the cool thing. You could use your imagination and the techniques to, imagine what this person would say or what they were like. Just because they're not here present with us doesn't mean that they don't exist. They just didn't exist in a different form, in a different way. And it's your job, it's your duty to figure out how that we make it better. How do we make it better? How can we make it better? When you think about all those people who got you where you're at today, I almost can guarantee you, almost bet you they didn't think of the way we're thinking right now. They're not going, well, it took a lot of us to get you where you're at. No. But you do. You have the power now. You have the knowledge now. You understand. If you have kids, you get it. If you don't have kids, well, maybe that generation line ends with you and it's over and it's done. I have 2 grandsons, right? 3 grandsons. And they have the ability someday to make decisions of how they're going to create life. But that's part of my line, but that's their own personal line. What they're going to decide to do and what to teach. But my job and my son's job and my daughter's job, my daughter-in-law, my son-in-law, they all have to make decisions to know that their kids have to understand to be grateful and thankful for the life that's been given. I used to have a friend whose mom would say, I gave you life, and if you act up and you're a jerk, I'll take your life, and she didn't mean it like really, but she meant like she didn't want to bust her if you act up and you do something stupid. It's crazy. I know that we're not grateful because sometimes we feel like we fall into a station of life that is undeserving. But I'm here to tell you, in this country, especially in this country, you can move out of your station if you want. If you think in stations, right? You can move out of that. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, Peruvian, wherever you come from. The biggest things is just our fears and our acknowledgement or non-acknowledgement of things that causes issues with us. But if you want to do better, if you want to get better, honor the people who are with you and make sure that they're moving in the right direction as well. So many people discount people. And you know what? That's the wrong thing to do. The best thing to do is encourage another human being to do better. Because when you teach someone else to do better, they teach somebody else to do better, and then vice versa. It just keeps moving on down the line. We're going to do better. We're going to do better. We're going to do better. It's not always easy, but it's not always hard. There's just a lot of timing and a lot of feelings and emotions about how we do it. So, you take a moment to pause, you take a moment to think, man, I wonder what my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was like, or my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother was like. I guarantee you she had no clue you were going to exist one day. It's just a set of circumstances that bring people together. Like my wife, I met her, and that puts us together, and it creates a whole new line of energy. And it's the same way when we do that. We just have to keep believing. We got to keep trusting. That's what it's about. But you're here because people made decisions to keep moving forward in time. And they kept moving forward in time by making the hard decisions that they were going to do and make this world a better place for themselves and their family. Most people have kids and stuff because they want to keep the bloodlines going, the generations going. But there are other people who don't. I think it's a valuable thing if you're able to birth another human being. That's just crazy. That's a miracle. Men will never have the opportunity to do that. But we also know our position in life and how we're supposed to help in the process. I don't want to get too much in semantics and too much into the political thing, but when you think about it, all of us, there are 7 people deep behind us who made the decision and the concerted effort to get you where you're at. Did they know what you're going to look like or be like or sound like or smell like? No, but they knew you were coming. They knew that if they kept doing the things they were doing, that you would show up one day. And you know what? Here we are. We showed up one day. We're here. We made it. We made it. Here we are. You're now here. What are you going to do? What are your choices? Are you going to be an employee of life? Or are you going to be a self-employed person of life, an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, a teacher, a business owner? This is the things that we have to learn to do as we progress through life, is what are our choices? Because the people who had all that energy that moved from up into the present moment, our ancestors, now we're here. Now we're here. What will you do? What will you keep moving? Energetically, you can move the energy forward through helping others, or moving the energy forward through, creating more human beings. It's a blessing. It's a miracle to be able to create another human being. It's not to be taken for granted. It's something that, that you're just, some people can do it and some people can't. But our parts are all different, A woman gives birth. A man drops the seed in. Without the seed, there's no birth, At least we're not asexual yet, where we can have our own reproduction. It can happen, yes. It may happen one day, but evolution doesn't see that fit right now. Evolution's like, let's make more babies. These babies are called such and such, and we'll do such and such. So we must trust the process. The process is we have to trust the process. But we have so much technology now, we have so much connection now that our ancestors didn't have. It's unfathomable, the things that they had. Because to believe that we can fly and we can drive and we can, go on a boat and do all kinds of stuff. Those were only dreams back then. But this is dreams of people who made it happen, made it work. And I encourage you to make it happen, make it work. Because you know what? When we do that, it becomes a beautiful game. It becomes a beautiful life. Now, you don't have to agree with everything I say, and that's logical that you shouldn't have to. You should believe in the pieces and parts that you resonate with. And if you don't resonate with anything, then you don't resonate with anything. There's nothing you can do. And then if you resonate with everything, then awesome, great, keep moving forward. But life is a game. Life is a bunch of decisions making, and then life is not making decisions at all. Life is just being indifferent. Life is being different. Life is making a decision that I'm going to help, and I'm going to work it. And here we are. Here we are. You're here. I'm here. All of us are here. All of us who are alive right now. A lot of people were behind us. A lot of people. Lots of people. You know what? And then, there's a lot of people who are not going to have kids just because the sheer fact that they just have outpaced themselves in life. They went ahead and did things that they regret now, which they shouldn't have done. But how do you know any different when you're in it? You don't know. You're just in it. And when you're in it, you don't see the signs of why you're not moving in the direction you think you should be moving. You don't move into that direction because part of you doesn't believe that you are deserving of that. And another part of you is like, well, that's, I'm above that. This is how humans think. This humans process. We're always thinking we're either better or less than. We're just never enough, to just be able to be correct or right. Just because you're wrong doesn't mean you're not right. When you're wrong and you face the point where you say, hey, I was wrong, then you become right. It's the same way. One must believe that they can do a lot and they can do better. Each and every day, doing better. Because when we don't want to do better anymore, then life becomes very different. There's a lot of circumstances that play out. So if you're able to walk, breathe, talk, and you're moving and you can move, then we should be grateful for those little things. Because there are friends and there are brothers and sisters who don't have that capability, who are unable to put themselves in situations that are beneficial. But us able-bodied people, and then those differently abled people, when we learn how to coexist and work together, things become more magical. There's no room anymore to be able to be manipulated and screwed over by people because they don't see the way we see, or we don't see the way they see. So I encourage you, just do your very, very best to be the best version of yourself, to be the best human you can be. And if you do that, then you've succeeded. Yeah, they took everything. They ran off with everything. But didn't we see that coming? Didn't we see that coming? When our ancestors forged and moved forward to do something different, to do something that was going to help the next generation, because most older generations, they do and they want to make better for the next generation. Is it always on par? No. Will it always be on par? No. But there's flaws in the thing. There's kinks in the patterns, right? If we have 2 hands and 2 feet, and we're able to see and talk and communicate, then we're ahead of the game. We're ahead of the group. Way ahead of the group. So 7 generations deep, giving thanks and honoring to them for all the hard work that they do and all the hard work they did to get us here in this present moment in time. You're here because of them. You're not here because of you. You may be where you're at in the sense of success and stuff, or non-successful stuff because of yourself. Yes, but You're here because of them, not because anything you did. The only thing you came out of your mother, and the next thing you had to do is decide what you were going to do with your life. And for a lot of people, that's hard. That's difficult for a lot of people. That's hard for some people. But either way, neither here or there. But this is just a tad bit of something that I wanted to talk about, because I'm going to be teaching this class November, I believe, 11th as Endoa, the 7-generational fold gestalt, the shamanic practice of tapping into energy, tapping into ancestral energy, and healing that ancestral energy. You know, a lot of us have a lot of energy to heal, a lot of people to heal, and a lot of people who hurt us. And this can be done with that process. In that process, you know, it can be 2 people, 1 person working the energy. But the point is working the energy. When you work it, the only thing that can come out of it is good things. And so we're ready to move forward. Ready to move forward into the space where, you know, we're able to share and make sure that we're sharing the proper things, teaching the proper things in our lives. Because our job is also to teach the next generation. Teach the next group of kids, hey, this is the way it needs to be. Is it right? Is it correct? It depends in the moment, in the present moment in time, what we're looking at. So make your generations proud of you. Make the generations that came before you proud of you. And you can, by sheer fact of being able to communicate and talk and share that, or write it down, put it in a journal, read it out loud. You know, you write it down, and then you burn it, you put it in, you fold it, and then you start a little fire and you burn it, sending it back to the universe, sending it back to Great Spirit to manifest and create it in the way it needs to be created. But anyways, I hope you were able to grasp a little bit of what I was doing, what I'll be teaching in this class coming up here in next month, because it's important to feel what we need to feel, be who we need to be, but also understand that you just didn't pop out of nowhere. You just, you know, there was a lot of work to get you where you're at. Some of you will be more successful at it. Some of you won't. Some of you will flounder through life because of the poor decisions you make and the decisions you didn't make. You know, you'd be surprised that the decisions that you didn't make are probably the most things that hurt you the most versus the things that made you a little bit better. So when you have a moment, you know, just give thanks and prayers and honest heart and say, you know, thank you for creating the space and energy for me to walk on this red road, to be part of the ancestral line that will be shared. Now, I'm sharing my energy, my thoughts, my beliefs, my religions, whatever, with my grandkids, and they get to see the world too. But then they get to decide in their own time when things need to be a certain way. Because once they make that decision, it's their decision, not yours. So guys, do your very best out there to be the best possible human being you can possibly be. Because nobody else is going to do it for you. No one else is going to do the work. And the work that you do and the work you create, you'll figure out ways to harness that energy and then push it out into the world with how you need. So basically just be grateful. That's probably the biggest thing that I want to leave you with, is to be grateful and thankful for the small things, especially when you're kids. Like if you're in sports and stuff, your parents take you, move you, and put you in these situations because you're not able to do it for yourself right now. You know, when we play sports, we're in a musical or play, it takes a group of people to create and manifest all this stuff. It's the same way with you. There's someone's decision, hey, I want to have a kid, you know. And sometimes you have a kid and he just comes out of nowhere, it's a surprise, right? But the point is knowing and going, yeah, that's what I need to do. Because if you don't do it, someone else will. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for tuning in with me. I know this is a shorter show than usual, but this is a pre-show to the class I'm going to be teaching in November. I kind of wanted to just briefly touch on things because the teaching in the class is very deep and very profound. All right. Well, you guys have a great night. Follow me on YouTube at Iggy Garcia. Yeah, it's good to be here channel, and give thanks and gratitude for all the things you have, all the little things that you've met, all the little things in your heart and your spirit and your soul, giving thanks. You know, gratitude goes a long way. And thanking somebody goes a long way. So I want to thank each and every one of you for being here and tuning in with me and being with me on the show and sharing your feelings, your heart. And it's not easy, and I get it. But you know what? When we understand that, you know, we're the sum of many people, this is going to be a better world. This is going to be a better opportunity for us to share, better opportunity for us to move into the right directions. All right. Yes, have a good night. Matakuyasin. It's good to be here, and I will see you next time. Enjoy October, as we'll cruise through that too as well. And then we'll be in November, and then depending on what part of the country you live in, some of us have snow, some of us won't, but I look forward and be thankful for the little things that we get sometimes, because we're not always in control of what falls in our lap. What we have control on is what we do with it after it falls in our lap. Do we put it aside? Do we move forward? What's the game plan? All right, guys. You have a good night. Take care. Be well. And I will see you next time here on Iggy Garcia Live. Just tune in on my website, IggyGarcia.com. You can get on my mailing list and sign up so you can see all the things that are coming your way. All right. Peace out, guys. Take care. Be well. What is above is below. Okay. Irisikwi. It's good to be here, and I will see you guys next time. And keep sharing. Let's keep talking about things that interest us and things that are important to us. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.